Today is going to be a bit controversial, but I want you to hear me out. It's going to be controversial because I'm going to talk about the social media campaign Save the Crew and why I think if that's the only thing that fans in MLS are going to do, that I don't think it's going to work. And then I ask a question at the very end of the episode, after I've told you what I do think is going to work. So I'm going to say I don't think what we currently have on the table is going to work. I'm going to give you what I think will actually work, and maybe that's phase 2 of the plan and I'm just not in the know. But then there's a key question we all have to be asking ourselves about this situation and the structure of soccer in the United States. That's the real question. So let's get into it. Let's talk about #SaveTheCrew. I'm not trying to be Skip Bayless and argue an unpopular point just to get views. But I have to tell you, this #SaveTheCrew thing is impressive, but I don't think it's going to work. Now, before you get mad and click off this video and hit dislike and move on, I have a suggestion for you. It's coming at the end. So you're going to have to sit and listen to why I don't think it works, unless you just skip ahead in the video. But I think it's valid if you understand where I'm coming from, why I don't think this #Twitter movement is going to work, in order to understand why there is one thing you could do that would work. Why don't I think #SaveTheCrew is going to work? Did it work for St. Louis Rams and their fans? Did it work for the Oakland Raiders and those crazy people that wear the pads with the spikes on them and paint themselves black and silver? Did it work for San Diego Charger fans? You're fighting a losing battle. You are playing a game against billionaires who are ruthless. That's how they got there. And oh, by the way, the league is in on it and has been for the last year. There's some great reporting in Columbus Business First. The link is in the description below that kind of details out what's been going on. So the league is, oh, this is terrible. This is blindsided us. We didn't see this coming. Except also, Columbus is falling behind from a business standpoint, according to Don Garber. And that's terrible. So they're going to say all those things, and then they're going to allow the Crew to move because it's in their best business interest to do so. But you see, you're fighting a losing fight. It's predictable. Evil team owner, little guys, the fans rise up, they put together tifos, social media, people are changing their team's colors from the original colors to black and yellow in a show of solidarity, and people are emailing the commissioner's office and emailing their owners. You think they're going to read all those? That's cute. They're not going to read all those. They'll read some of them. But you have to think, these are business people that have invested millions of dollars into the league, into their franchises, whatever. You think they're going to be persuaded by a social media campaign and some tifos? You're wrong. You want to send a real message? You want to send the only message that gets to the owner of your MLS franchise, or the whichever one it is, whichever team you're supporting, but you're saving the Crew. Revenue is the only thing that talks in the sports business. So you put some tifos in the stands in Atlanta, in Seattle, in Portland, in New York. There's some media coverage. There's some questions from the media at the game. It's on ESPN. Okay. Do you think the owners really care about that? It even allows some of them to come out and say, we support what our fans are doing. It's an awful thing that is happening in Columbus. They can do that to save face publicly. And you're going to eat it right up. Say, like, yeah, Seattle's owner's with us. Atlanta's owner's with us. Yeah. But it doesn't send the message that gets action done. So let's look at the NFL. Ratings plummeting. Advertisers shaky. Stands empty stands. they're having to react. This whole taking a knee thing, they were like, oh, eventually it's going to go away. And nobody did anything. They just sat on it and sat on it. And it grew and it grew. And now no one is going to the games. That is where you get them to listen. Roger Goodell came out today. I'm doing this on the 18th. Came out today and said, players should stand. I haven't even gotten to see the whole story because I've been reading on Twitter on what's going on in the soccer world and all the disaster that U.S. soccer has created, including the MLS. But they're having to start to react to say, like, no. Like, they should stand because their fans are upset. And they're not just upset. They're not going on there and saying, like, I hate that they're taking a knee. They're not just doing that. They may be doing that, but they're doing something else too. They're changing the channel. They're not going to the game. Boom. Hit the bottom line. That's the message you want to send. So if I'm you and I want to save the crew, here's what I do. You get as many fans as humanly possible to boycott their own teams in the playoffs. I think it's a little too late to get it done for like this weekend's, like the last games before the playoffs, like to figure out who's going to be in the playoffs and what seed they're going to be and whatever. I think it's a little late for that. So you plan ahead for the first week of the playoffs. And you get as many fans as humanly possible, those season ticket holders, those supporter groups that say they're with you, Columbus Crew. Let's see how serious they are. Don't go to the game. Even better, take those tifos, those Columbus Crew tifos that you're going to put in your own stands, take them down to the stadium. Take them to the turnstiles and stop by the gates of your own team. That's where you start applying pressure. When you click onto the MLS playoffs and they're on TV and half the stands are empty or 3/4, and there's media coverage from the local media about fans in Atlanta, fans in Seattle, fans in New York, standing outside of their own stadiums, not going in, holding signs supporting Columbus, that's when you send a message to the league. So you can have your social media campaign. I wish you the best of luck with it. And maybe that's phase 1. Maybe phase 2 is doing something like boycotting the games. It's a big ask, right? It's a big ask to ask fans or to expect fans and supporter groups of other franchises, not clubs, franchises, to not support their teams, to send the message. It's a big ask. But I think if you do that, you move away from a public relations battle, or it's bad optics, it doesn't look good for MLS, whatever, but they're still moving, to, okay, these people are serious. We've got some mad fans. That's impacting my bottom line. It's impacting the league's bottom line. That's when you send a message. Last thing before I let you go. This highlights the problem with soccer in the United States. Owner moves the team in an open soccer pyramid. Fine. It hurts, but fine. We'll start our own club. So, a question we should all be asking, the real question, regardless of what happens in Columbus, is why can't that happen? Why can't you take all the passion and the energy and the fans and the supporter groups of Columbus? Why can you rip that all away from them with no recourse? They can't do anything. What are they going to do? Support FC Cincinnati? That's not in their city. Shocker. I know you didn't know that. Why can't they say, fine, you do that, owner, and your franchise is going to burn to the ground in Austin because no one's going to support it. We're going to start a 9th division team and we'll be back. And you take all that energy and you build back. You can't do that right now. That's the real problem. What are you going to do about that? Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let's get the discussion going. What do you think? Can we save the crew?